And joining the conversation, Stacey Young, Executive Director and founder of the Justice Connection. She is also a former attorney at the Justice Department. Stacey, I want to start with you, right? Because for months, years, we had Republicans saying that the Justice Department was politicized, that all types of things were happening in there when you guys were in there. But now it feels like that's actually happening. And not only happening, they're being very public and open about them going against their rivals.
That sure seems like what is indeed happening. I mean, just in the last week, we've seen DOJ charge or sue or investigate or threaten to investigate 11 Democrats who happen to be rivals of this president. Pursuing investigations, pursuing prosecutions of your rivals, pursuing retribution and using DOJ as a weapon to do so, that is antithetical to what DOJ must do to uphold the rule of law. And it's a terrifying transition from where we were.
Let me play for you what Ed Martin, who is now the head of DOJ's so-called weaponization group. Listen to what he had to say about what he plans to do.
There are some really bad actors, some people that did some really bad things to the American people. And if they can be charged, we'll charge them. But if they can't be charged, we will name them. And we will name them. And in a culture that respects shame, they should be people that are shamed.
Okay, this is coming from a guy who works for an administration that lacks any shame, but I'll put that to the side. The word that comes to mind listening to that kind of rhetoric, Stacey, is witch hunt. Why shouldn't the American people be concerned, not just for the rule of law, but what could happen if that mentality and that mindset metastasizes to not just going after the president's immediate political enemies, but targeting regular, everyday citizens who might say something that the president doesn't like?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody should be very afraid right now. We're seeing that Ed Martin is weaponizing the institution he was ostensibly hired to de-weaponize. And what he's doing, what he said openly, is that when DOJ doesn't have the evidence required to prosecute people, DOJ is going to name and shame them, which is antithetical to what DOJ is tasked with doing. And it violates important tenets of the Justice Manual, which is kind of the Bible for prosecutors in the Justice Department. And the Justice Manual says very clearly that you cannot identify uncharged parties. You cannot disclose non-public information. You can't declare that somebody's guilty without a finding of guilt. So we should be scared not only because DOJ is investigating and charging, prosecuting individuals who seem to be targets just for retribution, but it's also attacking individuals who the DOJ is not finding enough evidence to actually pursue. So everything he's doing right now is absolutely out of step with the long-standing institutional norms of the department, and it's a terrifying shift.
Really quickly, Andrew Cuomo, corruption case in New York now that Trump is raising against him, or it's not necessarily corruption. He's investigating his pandemic response. What do you make of that? How is this going to stir the apple cart in the New York mayoral race where Eric Adams has been? Trump pardoned him already on corruption charges.
I don't want to get into the merits of the case, but what is so irregular and what is such a violation of Justice Department rules is that these charges were brought 1 month before the primary. DOJ is explicitly told, again, through this Justice Manual, through the set of policies that DOJ prosecutors and litigators must follow, you should not bring charges in a way that will influence elections. That is stated in 2 places in the Justice Manual. And it seems like that is what happened here. The timing of this seems clearly designed to influence an upcoming election, and the target is clearly an enemy of the president and the administration.
Oh, I'm shocked. And just to quickly correct myself, the charges against Eric Adams were dropped. He wasn't actually pardoned, so that was my error. But
You know, the most shocking thing in this conversation is that we had a Beyonce-related question to talk about, and Eugene didn't even ask it.
Because I'm not bringing her into this mess. The Beyonce got bigger things to do. We got concerts to do. She got songs to sing.
Right. That is true. Stacey Young, Ankush Kadori, thank you both very much for coming to the weekend.